In this video, we are going to rank all the male archetypes, from worst to best. Like how much it is appealing to all types of girls and women. Before going further, if you want your full facial analysis with customized looks maxing guide for yourself, join my Patreon. Link is given in the description and pinned comment. Starting with the worst, number 7. Ogre type. This is the worst male archetype. The ogre type refers to men who are extremely muscular, bulky, and heavily built, the kind of guys who dominate in strongman competitions or powerlifting meets. Think of Ronnie Coleman, Hafer, The Mountain, Bjornsson, or other men whose physiques are built purely for maximum strength and size, not aesthetics or proportions. From a social and attraction standpoint, most women don't find this extreme body type appealing. While it certainly commands respect from other men, it can actually intimidate or even repel women. Here's why. The ogre build often looks exaggerated, massive traps, thick neck, and bulky limbs. While it's a show of power, it doesn't match the healthy, fit look that most women associate with attractiveness. These men train for performance, not appearance. Their goal is to lift the heaviest weight possible, not to create a visually balanced or lean physique. To women, it can look like there's no self-awareness about presentation. Because the ogre type is focused entirely on strength, they often don't pay much attention to grooming, clothes that fit well, or overall style, things women tend to notice more than sheer muscle size. A 300-pound man with massive shoulders and a deep voice can be physically overwhelming. Some women may subconsciously associate that size with aggression, even if the man himself is gentle. While women generally like masculine traits, too much of it, especially in physical form, crosses into a territory that feels excessive rather than attractive. It's the difference between fit and strong versus cartoonishly huge. Interestingly, the ogre type often doesn't try to impress women anyway. Their motivation comes from competition, discipline, and personal pride and strength, not validation from others. They're usually respected by other men for their dedication, but they exist outside the mainstream attractiveness framework. Next up, number 6 is soft boy or feminine. The soft boy archetype represents men who embody a gentle, delicate, and almost androgynous version of masculinity. A perfect cultural example of this type would be K-pop idols or BTS members, men who emphasize smooth skin, styled hair, flawless fashion, and refined facial features. While pretty boy often refers to an attractive, well-groomed man who still retains traditionally masculine structure, like sharp jawlines or broad shoulders, the soft boy aesthetic goes a step further toward femininity. This archetype thrives on grace and polish, qualities that blur the line between male and female beauty standards. In places like South Korea, the beauty ideal for men is dramatically different from Western standards. Western aesthetics often value ruggedness, angular features, and visible muscle definition, traits that convey dominance or maturity. By contrast, Korean and other East Asian standards lean toward soft, youthful, and symmetrical features. This has led to a surge in cosmetic procedures designed to feminize the male face. Like V-line surgery, which reshapes the jaw into a slender V shape. Double eyelid surgery, to open up the eyes and make them look bigger. Skin whitening and smoothing treatments. And lip fillers. These are the opposite of what Western plastic surgery emphasizes, where men might pursue jaw implants, chin augmentation, or bulkier physiques to look stronger. The soft boy aesthetic is polarizing. Some women find it attractive because it projects emotional sensitivity, cleanliness, and fashion sense, traits linked with modern metrosexual or safe masculinity. However, others see it as too delicate or lacking raw masculinity, describing it as artificial or even inauthentic. Part of the soft boy's charm is psychological. He presents non-threatening warmth. In an era where hypermasculinity can feel aggressive or outdated, soft boys appeal to women who value emotional intelligence and gentleness over dominance. Next, the number 5 is hypermasculine. The hypermasculine archetype represents the stereotypical alpha male, rugged, bold, and brimming with raw sexual energy. Think of the high school Chad who grew up, hit the gym hard, shaved his head, got tattoo sleeves, and now rides a motorcycle. These men embody power, dominance, and confidence, often walking the fine line between danger and allure. Women often describe this archetype as dangerous but irresistible. He exudes sexual confidence and doesn't try to please anyone. Everything from his body language to his style communicates independence and strength. He's a man who doesn't seek validation, which ironically makes him more attractive. Physically, this type might include strong jawlines and thick necks, facial hair or rugged stubble, tattoos and muscular builds, casual, masculine fashion and a confident or slightly cocky posture. This aesthetic screams testosterone, and while it doesn't appeal to every woman, it triggers a very primal attraction response in many. The flip side of this archetype is that it often gives off short-term energy rather than long-term partner vibes. Many women subconsciously associate this kind of man with passion and excitement, but not necessarily emotional safety or commitment. He's the guy who steals your girl on the back of a motorcycle, thrilling in the moment, but unpredictable over time. The hypermasculine man tends to attract women who are drawn to dominant, assertive energy, including those who might have daddy issues or unresolved emotional needs related to power dynamics. The attraction can feel addictive, a mix of fear, fascination, and desire. Interestingly, modern hypermasculine icons like Jason Momoa or Roman Reigns show a hybrid evolution of this archetype. They maintain the physical dominance, broad shoulders, long hair, strong facial structure, but combine it with a touch of emotional depth and style consciousness. This balance between raw masculinity and subtle refinement creates an exotic allure that amplifies their appeal. Just look at fan reactions to Roman Reigns during his prime WWE years. The comment sections overflowed with attraction, admiration, and fantasies. He represents the perfect fusion of primal dominance and modern sex appeal. Next up, number 4, which is Pretty Boy Archetypes. The Pretty Boy archetype captures the golden, effortless charm of the surfer type. Sun-kissed skin, wavy blonde hair, bright blue eyes, and a laid-back, carefree attitude that feels both wild and approachable. This is the man who seems to have been born at the beach, bronzed by the sun, confident without arrogance, and perpetually relaxed. A perfect example of this look is Jordan Barrett, the Australian model often described as the embodiment of the surfer Chad. In his prime, he represented the idealized coastal fantasy, youth, freedom, and raw beauty wrapped in a nonchalant, unbothered personality. The Pretty Boy archetype stands out because it represents effortless attractiveness. Unlike the hypermasculine archetype that's built on dominance and intensity, the surfer Pretty Boy radiates ease and playfulness. His appeal lies in looking like he doesn't even try. His life is simple: sun, sea, and confidence that comes naturally. The key features of this type of included are golden tan and athletic, lean build, long, tousled hair, bright, open facial expressions, a chill, positive vibe that feels. This is the guy who walks barefoot into a cafe, and everyone turns to look, not because he's imposing, but because his energy feels light and magnetic. It's important to note that this archetype's popularity is highly location dependent. In places like Australia's Gold Coast, California, or Southern Europe, this look has peak desirability. It perfectly fits the environment and culture. The bronzed, easygoing surfer blends into the ideal of what fun and attractive looks like in a beach-oriented lifestyle. However, in countries with different fashion or beauty ideals, colder climates or more urban, conservative settings, this look can come across as niche or even too relaxed. The Pretty Boy thrives in cultures that value youth, adventure, and freedom. Because this type attracts so much attention and adoration in his teens and early 20s, it can also lead to early social saturation, the "I've seen and done it all" effect. It's not uncommon for pretty boys to burn out young from constant validation or fame, especially in tight social scenes like modeling or surfing subcultures. As a playful aside, some speculate that the sheer intensity of attention people like Jordan Barrett receive may have contributed to him exploring his identity further, a reminder that extreme desirability can come with unexpected pressures. Number 3 is masculine archetype. This archetype represents the classic form of masculine attractiveness, what most people would picture if you said, a Chad. These men have faces and bodies that are genetically optimal. Wide jawlines, high cheekbones, thick necks, and broad shoulders, all supported by a clean, symmetrical facial structure. They're highly sexually dimorphic, meaning their physical traits clearly separate them from feminine ones. But they stop just short of being too extreme, unlike the hypermasculine type. This balance gives them a mix of dominance and elegance. This is the sweet spot between ruggedness and refinement. The masculine Chad has a strong jaw and masculine facial bones, a lean but muscular body, confident, grounded demeanor, classic grooming and style. He looks like a protector and leader, not a show-off. Women describe this archetype as safe dominance, powerful enough to feel secure, but refined enough to feel trustworthy. From an evolutionary standpoint, this type signals ideal genes, high testosterone, for strength and jawline, balanced with healthy estrogen receptors, for symmetry and skin clarity. Socially, these men often command respect in both male and female groups. They're not trying to prove anything, their presence alone carries weight. Where the hypermasculine archetype can feel intimidating or aggressive, the masculine Chad feels stable, confident, and dependable. Think of Henry Cavill as Superman, the perfect physical and moral balance. He's powerful, but not chaotic. Handsome, but not vain. That mix makes this archetype nearly universally attractive to women and deeply respected by men. It is universally appealing to women. Number 2 is robust predaboy. The core traits here are masculine bone structure with soft aesthetic appeal, refined yet powerful features. And the prime example here are prime Alain Delon, Jensen Ackles and prime David Beckham. The robust pretty boy represents the zenith of balanced male beauty, the point where masculine power meets aesthetic perfection. This archetype fuses the clean symmetry of the pretty boy with the dimorphic structure of the masculine Chad, creating a man who looks both dangerous and angelic. These men are often described as beautifully masculine. They have the intensity of a leading man but the softness of an artist. They don't look like bodybuilders or pretty K-pop idols. Instead, they look like the movie version of a man, heroic, elegant, and effortlessly magnetic. The robust pretty boy hits a universal psychological sweet spot in attraction. Because he is masculine enough to trigger primal attraction, pretty enough to appeal to the aesthetic sense, and balanced emotionally. He combines the best of both worlds, beauty and authority. This is the man who can walk into any environment, boardroom, beach, or film set, and instantly capture attention without even trying. His appeal doesn't rely on aggression or mystery. It's his natural harmony that makes him stand out. Where the masculine archetype represents strength and dependability, the robust pretty boy adds an extra layer of mystique and sensuality. Women often describe this type as having a dangerous calm. He looks safe, but feels exciting. In the 1960s, Alain Delon defined this look: sharp features, sculpted cheeks, but smooth and youthful. In the 2000s, Tom Welling and Jensen Ackles revived it: perfectly handsome yet grounded, men who looked like idealized reality rather than fantasy. And lastly, the number 1 is typical Chad. The main traits here are balanced masculinity and beauty, strong jawline with slightly soft/feminine eye area, lean athletic physique, enigmatic charm. Prime examples are Matt Bomer, Sean O'Prey or Ian Somerhalder. The apex Chad is the ultimate standard of male attractiveness, the kind of man who embodies harmony in all areas. He's masculine enough to command respect and signal strength, but soft and aesthetically refined enough to be irresistibly appealing. He doesn't look exaggerated, overbuilt, or aggressive. He looks like the idealized version of a man. The key features here are strong, masculine jawline, but not brutishly square. Almond-shaped eyes, slightly softer or feminine, giving intrigue and approachability. Lean, athletic physique, Functional musculature, not bodybuilder level, not overly soft. Symmetrical face, well proportioned and expressive. Slightly mysterious, charming, confident without arrogance. This archetype hits the perfect biological and psychological sweet spot. High testosterone indicators, jaw, body structure, combined with cues of symmetry, approachability, and emotional intelligence, eyes, expression, posture. The apex Chad is magnetic without effort. Women are attracted to his strength, charm, and mystique, while men respect him for his confidence and social poise. Unlike the hypermasculine or masculine archetypes, he doesn't intimidate, he draws people in naturally. Unlike the pretty boy types, he signals manly dominance and capability, making him ideal in both short-term and long-term attraction contexts. Think of prime Matt Bomer, Sean Opry, or Ian Somerhalder, men whose looks and presence feel cinematic. He's the perfect balance, masculine but not overbearing, beautiful but not fragile, strong but not aggressive, charming but not theatrical. That's all for today, guy. Share your thoughts on the comments section. And don't forget like, share and subscribe.